Hello everybody. This video is going to talk about basically the comparison between streaming in today's music industry compared to the older ways of distributing music, which was on like hard copies of CDs and vinyls. There is a bit of information in this video, so just stick with it. It does have a lot of useful knowledge and stuff, so just stick with this video. It is kind of long, but I think it'll teach you a lot of good things if you're a musician or an artist or a manager, if you manage a band or do any of that stuff. If you do the business stuff, you know, for the music people, this video will help you out. So let's get started. Basically, I'm using a website here called Music Business Research. All right, I'm not affiliated with these guys. I don't know who they are. I just found it, thought it was useful information. If you want to check it out, you can go to their website at musicbusinessresearch.wordpress.com. Right there. I'll put a link to it in the description. But basically, they have a lot of useful stuff here. They talk about what's going on. Where was that article? I moved it. Here we go. What's going on in the industry, and basically how screwed we are as artists because of file sharing and because of piracy and stuff. Basically, the industry's lost a ton of money. So here's like, this is just a recent history from 1990. If I can make it bigger. But from 1990 here to 2016, this compares music selling, like selling even digital copies. Like an iTunes download is considered a music sale compared to streaming, which is, you know, they play the song. That's one stream, whatever. I don't know who thought of this stuff, but you know, that's that. Streaming is picking up, and hopefully streaming shoots up like this, you know, forever. Hopefully streaming in the future, because this is a pretty quick rise. All right, pretty quick, especially in 2016. In 2017, streaming might go way up there. Hopefully, that's what we're all hoping for. You know, pray to God that's what happens. But for now, it's still way down here, which is way below the peak of CD sales at around 14, maybe 15, around 14.5 million in 1998, 1999. That was the peak of CD sales. And even further back in like the 70s, music was way up there. This is nothing compared to where music was in the 70s, the late 60s, and the 70s. Okay, so hopefully streaming, though, is our knight in shining armor that's able to basically come through and provide us with a way to actually eat and, you know, make money making music, which I know sounds far-fetched right now, but hopefully that's the case. Okay, and you know, here's the evidence why artists are broke right there. Like, there's only, you know, so it's crazy. Anyway, this one basically shows that CDs, all this light blue color is let me check. Yeah, all that light blue color is basically the CD sales. So it peaked in 1999 around there at 14.5 million US dollars. All right. Hopefully this information is accurate. You know, if you have other information on this, leave a comment and we'll talk about it and stuff. An interesting thing about this, though, is that you'll notice this black bar down here, the vinyl. Let me make this full screen. Where's full screen? There we go. So this black bar down here, you'll notice it's making a comeback, and that's vinyl albums. All right, and that's interesting because why would it be making a comeback now? And I'm beginning to actually understand. It kind of makes sense if you think about it. That comeback is appearing with digital, I think. All right, it's been gone. I don't know what that was, but it's been gone for a while because I think during CDs, people just thought, oh, CDs are so great. Why would you buy a vinyl? Vinyl is just old technology, old ways of doing it. Why would you buy vinyl? But I think. So no one bought vinyl, but I think now with digital, vinyl is making a comeback because I think the artists realize this, and they basically want to prove to their listeners and to their fans and to everyone in the industry that they care about their music so much that they'll actually take the length to make a physical product of it. All right, because it's so easy now to put your song on SoundCloud, put your song on YouTube, get your music up online. Anyone can do it, and I think artists are resorting to making vinyl to to differentiate themselves with the competition to prove that they actually know what they're doing and that they care about their music making. So that's why I think you see a little increase over here in 2015 and 16 with the vinyl sales. Because like I said, anyone can get their songs on SoundCloud. It takes a button click, a few words, a few hashtags, whatever, and then you got your song on SoundCloud. But to actually get your stuff onto a vinyl, that kind of proves that you care that extra mile about your music. So I think that's why there's a comeback there on vinyl. CD's obviously still around in the blue, but that might go away. In the future, it might predominantly be streaming. Obviously go with streaming. Streaming is way, 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 way higher up there than the little vinyl, but it's just interesting to see that little comeback of vinyl. All right. Let's move back to this one. All right. So, and then let's move on. All right. There's some useful information in the text. I know artists just like to look at pictures and stuff, but it gives you the statistics. All right. Digital music sales decreased 44.7%, which is 11.9 billion in 2003 to 6.6 billion in 2010. So digital music sales are dropping like hotcakes. It is interesting. iTunes came as a way to try to fix the problem, actually, of file sharing and piracy, pretty much. File sharing, but iTunes quickly didn't work. It kind of solved the problem for a little while, and then it just stops. It stopped working because people just said, screw this. Why would I pay 99 cents, which is freaking nothing? Why would I pay that much if I could just get it for free on some kind of file sharing thing like Napster or something like that, So it's kind of crazy, but streaming might come up to be the real solution, because they can still listen to the song for free, and they notice, like, they play the song, they give that artist or musician one play, like, ooh, yeah, you get one more play on your track, yeah, and all that. So it's free though to them. To the listener, they don't have to pay anything unless they want to take the ads off. And I'll explain the whole streaming concept in a little bit, but for now we're just focused on this data and this research. So here again, we have streaming subscription on the rise, and the future, we don't know what the future can hold. This streaming thing can just continue to go up, at a steeper slope, and that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that the streaming thing just shoots up and counteracts all of the file sharing. That's the goal. All right, we want to basically eliminate file sharing. We want to, as musicians, we basically want to stop file sharing because it's hurting us financially. It's still okay, it's still sharing, it's getting your music out there into the world, which is good, so for that reason we kind of put up with it, because it markets our music for us, but at the same time it steals our profits. It doesn't let us keep money, which if we want to be full-time musicians and work in music, we have to be able to make a living off of it. So hopefully streaming counteracts that. With the streaming, I'll talk about it now. With the streaming service, you're basically able to with streaming, you're basically able to like offer your music for free, knowing that the listener is going to get hit with an advertisement. All right, and these advertisements are basically paying money to get their ads onto your video or your song. All right, this is for SoundCloud and stuff. So you're basically they're putting, I don't know what video to use. I'll just use screen capture, and we'll go into this just page. They're putting their ad on your song, and they're paying money to do that. So the more and more advertisers that pay to get their ads onto the songs, the more money that the streaming service builds up in their treasury or whatever. And once they have a lot of money, they can start to distribute that money back to the artists, who are the content makers. All right, so like on Spotify, you'll notice there's an ad quite often that kind of just says something, whatever. On SoundCloud, they're starting to get some ads that pop in and say stuff. Not as many though. There aren't as many advertisers on the SoundCloud platform because they're using actual advertisers. If they went with Google advertisements and just used Google ads, SoundCloud could be rocking and rolling right off the bat. They could be set, all right? Because Google Ads, there's an ad for anything on Google Ads. And if they just installed the Google Ad platform to run on SoundCloud, we'd be set pretty much right off the bat. But SoundCloud's using it through third-party advertisers or actual companies making the advertisement, like Ciroc, CD Baby, stuff like that, which is going to take a lot longer to get the ads onto the platform. But basically, that money from the advertisers who pay to put their ad there builds up in the platform. And then once they have enough money, they can give that money to the artist. Like on Spotify, you can look on your payment history for Spotify. If you use a distribution service like CD Baby or DistroKid, you can see that they pay out, a few cents per stream, or maybe like half a cent, depending on what the advertisement was and stuff. It's all based on algorithms and everything, but you can see that they pay out to you. All right, so you make a few cents, and you start to make more. You should at least start to make more with more activity. So the more popular you are, the more the advertisements that will come onto your songs, because your songs are more popular. Those advertisements are gonna be premium advertisements, basically. So those ads pay more to get placements on more popular songs, and therefore you make more money that way. If that makes any sense. But there's all an algorithm that runs in the background that does this, and so the user gets the song for free. They don't pay for it, and you get paid for them listening to it. So you can see, oh, my song was played 2,000 times and I made, I don't know, a couple $100 on it just from streaming. Okay, so that's how it should work. And hopefully that like shoots up like a rocket in the future, because the more this little green curve right here goes up, the more we're going to make on streaming. So streaming might be really the big way of the future. And especially with unlimited data plans, people on their phones, when you're driving in your car, when you're at work, when you're on a walk, when you're hiking, when you're walking the dog, whatever, you have unlimited data, so you can just listen to SoundCloud music or Spotify music on your phone, because unlimited data is so cheap now that you can just, get that and use 4G or LTE, whatever, and you stream the music, all right? You're not actually buying the album on iTunes and then listening to it in the music app. You're streaming it through the SoundCloud app, or you're streaming it through the Spotify app. So anyway, that's a little look at this. This is a super long video, but you can go back and watch the important parts. Here's just information on music streaming. Again, this link is posted in the description, so you can check it out. Yeah, it all just talks about what I'm just talking about here. Streaming, album formats, single formats. All right, so buying singles, that kind of started picking up right there, but then streaming came around, and streaming was like, oh no, this is definitely the way to go. Let's just stream the music instead. So my recommendation to you, all right, that's that. So my recommendation to you, if like whatever reason, if you view me as a YouTube music consultant, I recommend to you, being a musician or an artist, to get your music on streaming and get it on as soon as possible. Don't wait, all right? Even if you have a low subscription count or a small listener base, just get started. Get started sooner the better, all right? Because if you think for whatever reason, screw streaming, I'm just going to keep distributing CDs, the data does not back that up, and you're only going to drive yourself further into the ground, because these CD sales are dropping, man. At 2004, they dropped off a cliff, and they are continuing to drop. So don't rely on getting your music out there via CD. People just aren't taking it anymore. And it's the truth. You can try to argue whatever you want, but it's just the data is the data. The facts are the facts. And people would rather listen to your song on a streaming service than on a hard copy of a CD. But still have that option available. It's still around. There's still some there. It's still there. It's, right now it's around 20%, 18% of it, but the majority is streaming. And I'm saying, man, in the future, I think this is going to shoot up a lot. So get started now before it's too late. Start to build up that loyal fan base on streaming services, because that's really the way of the future. and that's my recommendation to you. So hopefully you found that helpful. This video was kind of long. We're looking at 15 minutes right now, so I'm sorry for the length, but hopefully this was helpful to you. You could go back, like I said, and watch parts that you want to re-clarify. If you have any questions about this, you can contact me directly on this video in the comments, or send me an email. My website's posted in the description. It's epsilon144.com. I also teach production, so if you make electronic music, which I know a lot of you guys do, just go ahead and subscribe to get those videos on electronic music production. I use FL Studio and Ableton and all of that, so it'll definitely help you out. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.